The sea was more than water, it was alive. To a pirate, it wasn't just a place of storms and monsters, it was a god, a thing to be feared, obeyed, and sometimes bribed. Before every battle, before every raid, pirates performed rituals, dark, strange, and secretive ceremonies meant to protect them from death, from curses, and from the wrath of the deep. They believed the ocean demanded offerings, blood, rum, fire, or souls. Because when you live by the sea, you learn quickly, nothing is free. The blood oath of the crew. Every pirate crew had its own way of sealing loyalty before a fight. Some cut their palms and pressed them together, letting their blood mix. One family bound by salt and sacrifice. Others burned old flags or tossed coins into the waves, promising the sea their plunder in exchange for mercy. This wasn't just theater, it was belief. When a man joined a pirate ship, he didn't just take an oath, he entered into a pact. A pact that said, if I fall, bury me at sea. If I betray, let the sea take me first. To break that pact wasn't just treason, it was damnation. Whispers to the dead. Many pirates believed that the spirits of drowned sailors lingered beneath the surface, watching the living pass above. Before a battle, captains would order the men to stand in silence, facing the water. They whispered to the dead, asking for guidance or forgiveness. Some dropped tokens, a gold earring, a button, a piece of rope, as offerings to keep the spirits calm. Others carved small crosses or bones into the deck, hoping to ward off their anger. Superstition ruled every breath aboard those ships. If the wind shifted suddenly, if gulls flew too low, or if a lantern flickered without reason, it meant the dead were listening. And when they listened, someone was about to die. Rum, fire, and the devil's blessing. Rum was more than drink, it was ritual. Before battle, captains poured it across the deck, over cannons, and sometimes over the very blades of their swords. The first sip always belonged to the sea. But not all ceremonies were peaceful. Some were terrifying. Accounts from captured pirates describe rituals where crewmen drank until delirious, chanted to the storm, and cut their arms to feed the wind. A few even called upon darker forces, devils of the sea, shadowed saints, and forgotten gods like Davy Jones, whose locker was said to hold the souls of drowned sailors. Whether they truly believed in demons or not didn't matter. In a world ruled by death, fear itself became a kind of faith. The mark of the dead. Before battle, some pirates painted symbols on their skin with ash or tar, skulls, bones, or circles around the eyes. They said it fooled death, making him think they were already his. Others tied black cloth around their arms or wore charms made of shark teeth and bone. These weren't decoration, they were armor of superstition. One journal from 1723 describes a pirate captain who carried a shrunken hand on his belt. He claimed it belonged to a mutineer, and that it kept him safe from betrayal. His men swore that as long as he carried it, no bullet could kill him. Maybe it was madness, or maybe it was something darker. When the sky turns red, pirates feared one thing above all: dying forgotten. So, before every battle, they cried out to the heavens, songs, curses, and laughter all mixed with the roar of the sea. If the sunset was blood red, they took it as a sign. The sea had accepted their offering. If the clouds rolled black, it meant the sea was hungry, and would take its payment in lives. But once the drums began, fear vanished. They became possessed, half men, half ghosts. Their rituals were complete. The sea had heard them. And as the first cannon fired, every pirate knew. Whatever waited on the other side of death, it was already watching. The curse of the compass. Among pirate legends, none was feared more than the cursed compass. It wasn't an object you could buy or steal. It was said to appear to those who had taken too many lives at sea. Its needle never pointed north, only toward the next doomed ship. Sailors whispered that those who followed it gained unimaginable treasure, but at a terrible cost. No man who possessed it ever died on land. Their bodies were always found adrift, eyes open, staring at the horizon as if still searching for something they could never find. Before battle, captains sometimes placed a compass at the center of the deck and spat on it, a way of rejecting the curse, mocking it, or perhaps begging it to look elsewhere. But there were darker tales. Some pirates secretly prayed for the cursed compass to find them, believing that dying at sea was better than living forgotten on shore. The drowned prayer pirates had no priests, but they had their own prayers, short, brutal, and born of desperation. Before a fight, a boatswain would shout, "Heave the sea and feed her salt," and the crew would answer, "Let no man's soul be empty." It wasn't a plea for mercy, it was a demand. a pact between men and the ocean itself. Those words meant, take what he must, but remember us. Some carved their names into the ship's hull before battle, a desperate hope that if the ship went down, their souls would remain with her, anchored forever in the deep. It's said that when old shipwrecks are found today, divers still hear faint scratching from within the timbers, as if the ocean kept its end of the bargain. The captain's shadow. In pirate superstition, the captain's shadow was sacred. They believed that if a man stepped on it, even by accident, he cursed the entire voyage. The crew would refuse to fight until the captain performed a cleansing, usually by cutting his palm and letting blood drip onto the deck, claiming his shadow back from the devil. Some historians call it nonsense. But for pirates, whose world balanced between storm and silence, faith and death, every shadow mattered. One logbook from a captured Spanish frigate tells of a pirate named Elias Crow, a man said to have no shadow at all. His crew swore that he traded it to the sea for eternal victory. For 3 years, no bullet or blade could touch him. Then, one night, his ship vanished in calm waters, not a plank, not a soul ever found. The sea collects its debts, even from shadows. The final toast. After every battle, no matter how bloody, those who survived gathered in silence. They filled their mugs with rum and toasted the dead, facing the waves. No laughter, no cheers, just a low, steady whisper to the ones who sleep below. It was both a eulogy and a promise. Every man knew that someday the toast would be for him. They'd pour one final drink into the sea, letting the foam swallow it, and only then would they allow themselves to sing again. And when the songs rose, they weren't of glory. They were laments, stories of cursed ships, drowned lovers, and battles fought under a blood moon. Those songs echoed across the black water, carried by the wind until morning, until even the sea itself seemed to hum along. Because somewhere in their bones, every pirate knew the truth. The ocean doesn't remember victories, only sacrifices. The ocean was their home, their judge, and their grave. To outsiders, pirates were savages, thieves, killers, and liars. But to themselves, they were chosen, marked by the tide, bound by something deeper than law or loyalty. Every ritual, every cut, every whisper, every sip of rum was a language the sea understood. They weren't just preparing for battle. They were negotiating for survival. The line between life and death was thin out there, as thin as a rope in a storm. And when cannon smoke filled the air, when men screamed and ships burned, those strange rituals became anchors for the soul. They gave chaos meaning. They made fear sacred. Some say the sea never truly gave them back. Then when a ship sank, the men became part of it, their bones turning into coral, their voices merging with the waves. On calm nights, sailors swear they can hear faint laughter across the water, the sound of long-dead pirates still toasting before a fight. Others say the rituals never ended, that even now, in hidden corners of the world, modern sailors still drop coins into the ocean, still whisper to the waves, still drink to ghosts before the storm. Maybe it's habit, maybe it's heritage, or maybe the old gods of the sea are still listening. And as long as men sail upon her, someone will always offer rum to the waves, blood to the wind, and a prayer to the deep, hoping that when their time comes, the sea will remember their name. Because to a pirate, immortality didn't come from treasure or legends. It came from the whisper that followed after the last cannon fell silent. Another one sails with the tide.